What's up, comic book fans? And welcome to Comics Icons. Now, JJ, what they call me. And today, we got more Ultimate Universe. This time, we're jumping back in with issue number 7 of Ultimate Spider-Man. And if you've missed the previous issue of this series, then I'll put up a link at the top of your screen for it, and a card at the end of the video as well to the complete playlist. But when we left off with this series, Peter Parker teamed up with Harry Osborn to get their asses handed to him by the hoss known as Kingpin Wilson Fisk, leading Peter to have to come clean with his family about his superhero life, followed by him finally getting the nickname Spider-Man after a 6-issue opening story arc to the series. So if you guys are ready to find out where this story goes with the beginning of this brand new arc, then you guys know what time it is. Let's get it. So it's now the month of July when we kick this issue off, as Otto Octavius is putting some work in on Harry's goblin suit. And Peter's there as well, smashing a sandwich while Harry introduces them, as Peter wisely keeps on his mask, because I don't trust Otto. But Harry lets Peter know that the reason Otto's here with them is because neither of them really understand the technology behind their suits. So right now his value to them is pretty immense. But Otto then explains to them that although their suits are both Stark tech, they were built using 2 completely different types of engineering. And he calls them Stark 1.0 and Stark 2.0, with Peter's being the Stark 2.0 version. See, Harry's suit is very sophisticated hardware, top of the line and flawlessly constructed, the perfect war machine. And as a piece of tech, Otto is able to get inside of it and customize and fine tune it from top to bottom. But Peter's Pico tech suit is much different, highly adaptable, and transformative. And while he's talking, he actually snips off a sample of Peter's suit for him to study some more. And I'm sure y'all, that little piece of suit will come back later to haunt Peter. Knowing Otto, he'll probably use it to make his own octopus suit. Although it kind of has some venom type properties. But Otto also lets the guys know that their suits both run on the same network, which is how Harry was able to shut down Peter's suit when they first met. Although they can work independently outside the network, which the two heroes are very much interested in doing, as Harry lets Peter know that that's next on the list of plans. But what's interesting is that, to this point, both suits have been running on some type of safe mode. But they actually both have an onboard AI that can be used for pretty much anything. Combat analysis, life support, and honestly any kind of higher function problem solving. Otto just needs to turn them on and set them up with a profile. And these profiles will basically serve as a personality, or a base level consciousness. And while Otto has already taken the initiative of preparing a few archetypes such as Napoleon Bonaparte, Abe Lincoln, Julius Caesar, Mahatma Gandhi, and even Otto Octavius himself, Peter chooses himself as his AI to talk to. While Harry, meanwhile, although Otto assumes that he'd rock with Caesar, chooses instead his father, Norman Osborn. But then we take a trip from the boys and pick up with MJ and Gwen as they go to visit the new office building for the paper, that online news publication of J. Jonah Jameson and Uncle Ben, since Gwen is the financial backer looking to check up on her investment. But when they get to the door, it's actually locked with a note on the door from the old guys apologizing for having to run out since something had come up. But we then meet up with the fellas as they take a meeting in an ominous dark parking garage with an apparent whistleblower who ends up being Robbie Robertson from the Daily Bugle. And when they open the package that Robbie has for them, they're kind of shocked by it, and they believe that Robbie should be using this himself to get the credit for the story. But Robbie unfortunately knows that the Bugle would never publish it. But the fellas actually offer Robbie a job to come and work with them at the paper. And Robbie admits that he's thought about it and eventually he will want in. But for now he feels like he could best serve as their inside man. But then we move over from the home team over to the bad guys, as Captain Britain arrives at a building that supposedly doesn't exist, known as a black hole, to meet with a guest of his. And when he enters, we see that the guest is Kingpin, who at the time is focused on a painting of the Maker. And when Captain Britain walks in, Kingpin reveals that he's never met the Maker. Although Captain Britain isn't surprised, and he tells Fisk that he's always gotten the impression that the Maker didn't really care much for people, meeting them or otherwise. But then Captain Britain questions Fisk about his losing one of Britain's agents, to which Fisk defends that he didn't lose him. He just happened to disappear. Or be disappeared. But it happened at one of Fisk's properties, so Captain Britain is a bit surprised at the lack of footage of his encounter. But then Fisk responds that there was some sort of close proximity EMP that was used, although he's since taken precautions against it happening again. But then Britain admits to Fisk about Fisk being right when he previously warned him of the potential problem. And he's come bearing gifts for the Kingpin in the form of an entire team of these Bullseye agents. But Fisk surprises the captain when he rejects his agents. "I do not need them," Fisk responds. "I know my adversaries can be beaten. I know how to do it, and I will do it on my own terms." But then we pick up later on with Harry and Peter getting in some training, as Peter seems to gain the upper hand. But we quickly find out that it's all for Otto, who's running tests before activating their suit's AIs. And Otto warns the pair of heroes that once he activates the AI, it's likely that it can't be turned off without a complete reboot. But he then activates the AIs, and now Harry hears the voice of his father Norman, while Peter hears his own voice. And now Harry's ready for round 2 of this training session. And this time Harry gains a quick advantage by landing a huge blow on Spidey. But his Norman AI won't let him enjoy the advantage and taunts that the fight isn't won after one good punch. Just before Spidey bounces back and drops Harry, followed by more taunting from Norman, to the point where it forces Harry to fire a unibeam blast to hopefully gain his AI dad's respect. But then as Harry goes to help his buddy Peter back up to his feet, Otto begins to notice a third signal. And initially they ignore him, but he's eventually able to get their attention to tell them of this other mystery signal on the Stark network that he can't seem to keep locked out. And then the signal arrives, followed by an announcement. "I told you I'd be back in 6 months," as Tony Stark's Iron Lad is revealed in his return, followed by the one question that he has for Parker, which is, "Are you a hero yet?" And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the issue. So what did you guys think about the issue? And the return of Tony Stark? How do you think he'll respond to Harry Osborn owning his company now? And is teaming up with Peter? And once again, I know the next issue has already been released, so please try to refrain from spoilers in the comments. But other than that, I want to hear all your thoughts and theories. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video and this channel, and you'd like to support the channel, then you can do so by stopping by the Comics Icon store and picking up some Comics Icons merchandise, including the background music heard right here in this video available for download. Or by joining the Iconic Fan Club channel membership, and there'll be a link in the description to join. But with your membership, you'll get loyalty badges, member shoutouts, and up to 20% off of Comics Icon's merchandise from the Comics Icon store. And you'll even get a chance to pick a video of your own choosing for me to post. Plus, we've got tiers to the memberships as well, beginning at just 99 cents. Or you guys can donate to the channel with a super thanks. And if you're not able to do any of that, then you can still help out this channel's future tremendously by dropping a like, share, and subscribing to Comics Icons for more icons in the comic book world. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. I'm out.